Everybody ready? Come on, let's go.
The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go! The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go!
Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome to the show. My name is Rick Thorne. Duh. I got a pretty rad guest, a good friend of mine that we met in the comedy scene, but also that I found out that he's like, you know, an X Games dude as well. Handren Seavey, what's up, dude?
Welcome to your show. What's up?
No, I want you to welcome me to this show. I want to see what that. I want to know what that feels like.
It's good for you to be here. What's happening?
Yeah, thanks, bro. I'm really honored to be here. It's badass. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good, good.
I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a minute. Been busy. Had another kid. Doing a lot of comedy.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
How many kids?
2 now.
Boy and a girl?
Yeah.
How old? Well, one's a newborn, obviously.
One's a little over a month. The other one's about 3.5.
Dude, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Seems...
It's really fun right now with her. She's doing front flips now.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Just no hander. She kind of lands on her butt, but she has such a big head that she just like whips it and throws it, and it totally takes her into a front flip.
That's rad, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the balance with kids could be tricky, but when they're young, that's the best.
She's really good, but I see other kids around the playground who are just, 1, 2, 3 years older than her that are just terrible. They have no balance, no muscle. They can't even climb all the way to the top of the. I could just look at them. And go, my 3-year-old is showing you up right now, and you're 7.
That's funny, dude.
They're weak bags of milk, some of these kids.
They are, bro. They need to get out there and do some. It's not the kid's fault. It's the parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been
You
saying
look
that
at it,
forever.
and the parents are that too.
Yeah.
The parent couldn't climb to the top of the slide either.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's wrong with these parents.
No, people would say that. They'd say, "Oh man, these kids nowadays," and I'd be like, "Yeah, but it's not the kid. The kids are just you're shaping them. You're the parent, so it's you. You know what I mean? You're the ones that's just the slug. So you're right. They can't climb to the top.
Yep.
Not even they can't even climb up to slide down the pole.
No, she's 3.5. She's doing monkey bars full on her own now.
Awesome.
And there are 5-year-olds that can't make it across.
Do you ever think you'd be a dad?
Stopped it a few times. No. Yeah. I didn't know through my 20s if I wanted to, but then like by the time I got married, I knew like eventually we would have kids, and we were probably married, I don't know, 3-4 years before we had kids.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, I would say by my 30s, I was like, oh yeah, I do want to have kids.
Yeah. I didn't want to have kids, and I was like, oh, dude, I had that one night stand, and I had to have a kid.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I'm joking. I'm joking. It wasn't like that for me. No, kid. I don't want to make this about kids. I think it's cool that you are able to do like, because I know like we met in the comedy scene, right? And so that's what I thought, you know. And then I found out that you were like a free skier as well. But I know how hard it is to be like, because in comedy it's the nightlife.
Yeah.
And you got to be out at night.
Yeah.
How do you juggle that with kids? Because it's got to be difficult.
It's a lot of no sleep. It's just pretty much you get up, I'm up at 7, 6:30 with them regardless. They don't care if you got home at 2. Especially right now, she's 3. She wouldn't even know how to like let daddy sleep in or anything.
Right.
So there's that part of it if you're just going to sacrifice and fucking sleep less. And then I try to make it as much as I can, especially now with the second one, to be home long enough to put them to bed, so that they don't really. She sees and knows like, oh, I go to work at night, and sometimes if I have a road gig, I have to leave early, and I always know that's tough on the wife because she's then there with 2 of them.
Right.
But I find if I can stay there long enough to get them both to sleep, it's definitely easier for them than have a minute with my wife and then get
because they're asleep and you're out doing your thing, and then you got to come back.
Yeah, and then just get home before one of them wakes up in the middle of the night crying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but it's still like a challenge though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for me, because I did it by myself, I didn't have any. I've been single this whole time, and I have no family. So for me, it was
Are you like the Virgin Mary? You just reproduced by yourself?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm living proof that men can have babies. Yeah.
Nice,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
How your butt?
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. It came out other ways, but it hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It hurt a little bit. But yeah, kids are a nightmare sometimes. They are, dude. Wait till they become teenagers.
That's what I'm worried about.
It sucks.
Right now, it's awesome. She's just learning stuff. She loves me, and
Yeah.
Occasionally she says, I don't love you. And you're like, well, whatever. You can't drive or anything. But yeah, once they're adult, closer to adulthood and stuff, and then they become formidable foes, and you gotta be planning 2-3 moves ahead of them at all times.
They always say parent. Yeah, you do, because people say, "Oh, parenting so rewarding." No, it's not. There's no reward in it. What is the reward?
I think the reward is your kid doesn't end up being a school shooter. I think that's a
good reward.
If you get to they
true.
graduated high school and you're like, hey, they didn't ruin everybody's life.
They didn't light up the jungle, the gymnasium. Yeah. I guess you got a point there. I've had a reward then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, even your parents have got to look at you and go, it was close there for a minute.
I think they're still saying that. No, my mom's like a sailor, man. She's like, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Do what you want to do.
So, I mean, in that way, they're probably like, no shit, you've been able to do this your entire life. That's awesome.
Killed it, son.
Yeah.
You should have killed more. No, I'm kidding. Jokes. Yeah, but you're out, like, being a comedian. That's how we met at the, what's it called again? What's that place called?
Accidental Chaos.
Do you still go there?
Oh, yeah. It's on a real rebound right now.
I saw something they were going through something, but what was they going through?
There might have been certain substances people were using that were there too much, messing up the flow of the place, the characters hanging out. But now that is completely flipped. Everything's starting on time. People are there for it. It's been a complete rebirth of the place. They're there pretty much Monday through Sunday, with mics and stuff and shows on the weekends.
Are you there a lot?
I would say a couple times a week.
That's cool.
I'll go by for like the Wednesday, Thursday. They're mics, but they fill up with real people to watch and stuff, so it's worth going by and getting in 10 minutes or so.
What time does that start? It's late though, isn't it?
It usually starts about 9:30.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Because I went there, I felt like it was like midnight or something.
Yeah, well, that was, a problem before. They'd be like, nobody's here yet, we're going to keep waiting, or the host hasn't shown up yet, and then it wouldn't start till 11. Now, I want to say under new management, but it's kind of, but not. It's also some of the same people. They're just cracking down and making it successful.
That's badass. That's
good.
Good.
So it's been good there, but that's where we met. And I remember seeing you, knowing who you were, but I did not say anything until I think we said, like, we talked at the end of the night before going home, and I was like, yeah, dude, I totally.
You saw my act, you're like, you need to work on this. Listen, you need. I know you're new. You need to starting out, but no, it was cool. It was cool. Freeskiing.
Yeah.
It's because you grew up on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the mountains. Yeah.
Is it Maine? Is that where you're from? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So wait. So freeskiing is like, it's still pretty popular, huh?
Yeah, I'd say it's bigger than ever right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still ski?
When I can. I haven't been in a couple years, and I mean, I competed until I was 19 or 20, and then coached until I was 28 maybe, I think.
So a big part of your life.
Yeah, and when I was coaching, a few of those years were full-time coaching, so I was coaching like 6 days a week and traveling with kids to like Junior Olympics and stuff, and would just be on the hill over 100 days a year. From the time I was probably 2 till 28 was skiing between 60 and 100 days a year every year.
Wow.
So by the time I like stopped, and it was because of comedy that I walked away from coaching, and then I was just going a few times a year when I would go up to the mountain. I did not miss it. I mean, I love doing it, but it's not. I've done so much of it that it doesn't even feel like I've been away from it that long.
Got it.
Because so much of my life was that.
Yeah, absolutely. Finding yourself in California, do you go up to like Mountain High or Big Bear?
The only place I've been here is Tahoe.
Oh, Tahoe.
That was because I did the Tahoe Improv and got free tickets to Heavenly, and I was like, boom, comedy got me back skiing for free. That was the other thing too. With skiing, it's very expensive, and I had never paid to ski from the time I was maybe 13. I had been sponsored by mountains and or like worked coaching, and you always got equipment deals and shit, and so I never had to pay. And if to have to pay what it actually cost if I just wanted to go skiing for a day,
it's expensive, dude.
I would have to get a mortgage or something.
Dude, you'd have to take a loan out.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids. I mean, we're talking Mountain High passes with parking pass, and then snowboard, skis. And but that's what my kids both are great skiers.
Yeah.
And my daughter snowboards, and it's like I got some hookups in that world for product and stuff, but mostly it's like, yeah, dude. And then the gas up there, and then you're just like, this is gnarly.
You know what it costs?
Can't you
one
just
day,
skateboard, man? What's going on?
One day at Vail right now, I think is $200, or it might even be $300.
That's
I was going to say
crazy.
like $259, but it might be $300
That's crazy.
for a day.
And that day,
That's
like,
one ticket for one person. You go with a family of 4, you're talking $1,200 just tickets alone.
Yep. Yeah, it's way too much.
Yeah.
It's insane. Well, I don't know much about it's freestyle skiing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that sport. Like when you say freestyle skiing, it's like you do all the 360s and the flips and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically snowboarding. We're doing the same courses: slope style, half pipe, big air, rails and stuff. And it came from dudes that were doing mogul skiing and big mountain skiers, and then snowboarding started making parks and doing skateboard type shit, and then skiers started going into the parks and trying to pretty much take tricks that people have been doing in big mountain, jumping off cliffs and shit, backflips and stuff, and bringing it to the parks, but then also seeing snowboarders doing grabs and rails, and so skiers started doing those too. And that was really, I was probably the second generation of people that were doing skiing in the park and competing. I want to say, when did Winter X Games start? Like 99, 96, 99?
No, it must have been because I remember I went out there for them. This is before they had an actual X Games host.
Yeah.
They didn't know who the host was going to be, and they sent me out there, and it must have been 98. I feel like it was 98.
It's in Vermont.
I think so, yeah. Because I went out there for a couple weeks, and I did like a lot of. They had this. What's the guy Blake? They had the mohawk. You know what I'm talking about?
Glenn Blake.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there, and so they had this live TV. There was like a area that they had set up, and we did a bunch of live TV stuff.
So him, Johnny Mosley.
Yep, Mosley.
Bunch of the guy Chris Osnes and stuff. They were all. Mosley won the '96 Olympics, or no, 90. That might have been '98 too. Nagano, whenever that was. And he did a grab, and that was the first time anybody in freestyle skiing had done a grab.
Oh, wow, okay.
In moguls. And then I want to say...
What's moguls? What is that?
Moguls is, it's like bump, 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 jump, land, bump, 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 where guys are going like this.
Oh, okay. So it's like setting up for a big jump.
Yeah, it's like...
Like hitting a bunch of whoops and then hitting a big...
Then there's 2 jumps, and you're judged on your airs, and then also the speed and your turns, how fast you can go down the moguls and not get fucking blown apart.
Got it.
So
what? So he grabbed on his ski and people.
He did a
what?
360 mute grab, and
sick.
people have been doing 360s, 720s. You still couldn't flip yet. Dudes do flips now, and the standard trick is like a cork 1080 off the bottom air.
They do more than one flip. They do like 5, bro.
Yeah, well, in park and stuff, but even in moguls now. In moguls, everybody does. You have to be able to do at least a, cork 720 just to be able to be in the conversation and competing. But guys are starting to do 1260s and
wow,
just starting to possibly do double flips on the bottom air in moguls.
Okay. So is moguls like a big discipline in
it's been in the Olympics since the 70s, I want to say.
Okay, well, duh. Yeah. But that's not. Those are normal size skis. Isn't freestyle skis smaller?
No,
they're the same size.
Same length, but twin tip, so you can. Mogul skis are usually pretty skinny because you're trying to keep your feet as close as possible to go down through the moguls.
Got it.
Where you get into park and they're
wider?
more like a standard width ski, and they're twin tips, so you can go switch. But that started, I want to say they were first skiing in Winter X Games was then 99. It might have started in 98, and they had snowboarding, and then 99 they had skiing, big air. And then by 2002, they had skiing slope style. And I think 2003 was the first year, or maybe the second year, of skiing half pipe. And that's when I competed I did X Games qualifiers.
Sick.
I got 20th in half pipe at the U.S. Open that year. And that was maybe the second year they had the U.S. Open in Vail. And so that was really the guys who had started doing the park tricks were maybe 5 to 10 years older than me, and some of them were older freestyle skiers that were getting out of competing and then being like, oh, I'm going to start going in and skiing with snowboarders, and they're the ones who kind of created it. And then I was probably maybe 4 or 5 years after that, but when I started competing it. So it was really new, wasn't in the Olympics yet. And what guys can do now compared to what we were trying to do then is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you, I know like in BMX, we would do a lot of like before foam pits and resi ramps, which is like the padded ramp with the layer of plastic on top. We would lake jump and we would snow jump because I grew up in the Midwest. So if it was a snow day at school, they put all the snow in the middle of the parking lot. Yeah. And we would put a little kicker and we would jump into the snow while it was still soft. Yeah. So we learned a lot of stuff. I learned no-handed flips in the snow, right? How does a free skier learn stuff? Is there do you have something similar like that, or you just got to go for it?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of going for it, but no, water ramps, they have those in the summertime. Also in the summertime, we go skiing.
What, you mean like a lake jump, basically?
Yeah, well, it's like a...
you get towed by a boat or something?
No. They have them in the pools. They have these, like at Whistler, they have one. In Park City, they have one. And in... where they have the Olympics in New York, upstate New York there.
I don't know.
Lake Placid.
Okay.
They are giant ramps that they build, and they put a plastic coating over them so your skis slide down them. And it's basically just a ramp and jump into a giant pool that they have water bubbling in, so it's not flat, so you're like landing on a little softer of a surface.
Yeah. Okay.
So you do those in the summer to
so it's
practice
like a big
tricks.
kicker, and you just come down and
just
hit.
Shoo!
Sick.
Splash.
You can still get messed up with that, though.
You can still knock yourself the fuck out. If you hit the water flat, yeah, you still wear a helmet.
Dude, I did a 720 once back when that was like a big trick in the water, and I smacked the side of my head, and I had to get an ear infection, had to get drained. Yeah. So then I would jump with a water polo helmet because it protected my ears. So like I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I get out of here. So yeah. So anyway, so keep going. So that's how you learn that sport. Some of the big tricks.
That was some trampoline, a lot of trampoline work, just learning the flips and stuff.
So what, you have the skis attached to your feet?
No, then just jumping,
spinning.
just working on air control and stuff. And then...
Yeah, that would be kind of gnarly if you had them attached to your feet on trampoline.
Yeah,
if you land all crazy, you would tear your knee or something.
Well, the thing about them, too, is like they take away your ability to jump high. Like it's like this big flap thing, so you can't actually like bounce up as high as you need to
That's crazy you're saying trampoline, because we used to do trampoline bikes.
Yeah.
And then, but before trampoline bikes, we would practice doing backflips holding a set of handlebars. Just
to get used to it.
See what it would be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy that effect with skiing too. I didn't know that. Okay.
And we had at the place that I coached at, it was a private academy that had was known for their skiing, and they had a whole trampoline room that had one trampoline to practice on, and then another one that went into a foam pit. Okay. So you could practice doing the stuff actually traveling forward, because that's a big difference between doing flips and stuff. Is doing it right in one place and going up and down compared to when you're actually going down and hitting the jump and moving forward through the air versus just going straight up and down.
So did you do any of that stuff? A lot of that? Like in the lake jump and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So then, just so listeners know, because like in BMX, it seems like there's a lot of big tricks going down. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, amazing tricks, right? And being able to do a trick like in the foam pit and then saying, okay, resi ramp, and then, okay, resi's cool, but I'm old school, so it's like, you got to do it without the resi. Yeah. What's that feeling? Did you ever have that feeling of like, okay, I've been working on this trick, on the trampoline, a jump, the first time going for something? Do you remember a trick that was like that for you, that gave you that adrenaline?
Definitely like getting cork sevens down, like cork 720, where you're going, I mean, pretty much the same spin as you see guys doing cork sevens and 10s on bikes in like dirt jumps and stuff. Mm-hmm. Look, I definitely went one summer, learned those in Whistler. We go to Whistler in the summer, and you can ski pretty much until August up on like the top of the mountain on the glacier. And also that snow is like spring snow, super soft. And that's kind of probably the equivalent to the resi ramp for skiing. Is spring skiing, when it gets soft, you go, I'm going to start fucking hucking myself.
Start hucking yourself, yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter. So, but like learning that there on trampolines, water ramps, then taking it to hill, and then by the time that winter comes around, to be able to just do it off of every jump consistently was like a big. That was when I was also maybe, I want to say like sophomore in high school and really starting to compete nationally and stuff, and was putting training into skiing like I hadn't before, as far as like, because before that it was just huck yourself off shit and see what you can do. And and then you get used to it, and then you get better at it. That's how I learned backflips and just regular 720s and switch 540s, was fucking go for it. And then I started getting coaching and being like, oh, I don't have to fuck myself up just to learn this. I can start slow, do it
Work
incrementally.
Your way up,
yeah.
Yeah, because we were the old schoolers, just like you're just sitting on the ramp going, man, I'm thinking of trying this.
Do you do a 1080? I don't know. Let's fucking see.
Yeah. That was different. It was definitely different. Do you, what was I going to say about that? About you hucking yourself and competing. Do you remember?
I don't remember any of it. I knocked myself out many times.
Did you ever save a trick? Like, because we would sometimes know what we wanted to do and maybe not even tried it yet on like anything.
Yeah.
Be like, I could do backflip jumps, so I'm going to try backflip fakie. Yeah, but you practice, I don't need to. And just wait for that moment to, like, in the contest. Were you ever like that?
Not in a contest.
Or you were dialed, like, this is my tricks I'm doing before?
Usually, because we would get there and you'd have a day to ride the course, and it would just be about get down a run that you can do with your eyes closed.
Did you ever get a run down and then have some backup plan? Like, I got my run. Dude, I just hit my run and be like, I'm going to try this one trick I've been thinking. Did you ever do that?
I never did. I didn't like competing was the other thing. I liked so much more filming and just having sessions with friends and trying to learn new shit and go bigger and push each other.
Yeah.
When it came to competing, I mean, I did a lot of it. It was my least favorite part
Competing's
of skiing.
rough, dude. It's a mental.
It was mental, and it was also just like spending almost a whole day for 2 runs opposed to just getting in a ton of runs throughout the day. And like, I remember loving going, looking at the course, figuring out what you're going to do that day of practice before, where you're just lapping it all day, just doing the same runs and getting stuff down. And that's where I would have in my mind, okay, I'm going to do a 540 over this jump. And then after hitting it all day, I go, I can do a 7. I can make that a 7. I would change it up a little that.
Yeah. Because you got that run down, so you want to change it up so you don't get like bored for yourself, right? You
and just this will get more points. I was planning on a 5, but it's actually a bigger jump than I was planning on, so I think I can do it to
7,
this. Yeah. But also the thing was, I wanted to not be thinking by the time the contest came. I wanted to have done my run so many times that I could just go through it and not have to be nervous or going, okay, what am I going to do here? Almost as I come up to each element, my body is just doing what I've been practicing for a day without thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I remember sometimes, I get that. I mean, you would have your run down, but we would like save it. It was almost like but this is before we had like all the things that kids have now.
Yeah.
Like, they have resi vert ramps and resi spines and resi box jumps and foam pits. And we were just like, well, I did this in the lake a couple times. I'm just gonna wait to the contest and pull it off, where I guess it matters most in our world, because you were trying to like be sponsored and create a career out of something that wasn't much there. When you were freestyle skiing and competing, was it already like sponsorships and stuff like that, or was it kind of bottom of the?
I mean, we were like the first level of people had been sponsored for this stuff for maybe like 5 years, and I got clothing sponsored, and the Mountain sponsored me, and I got, I think, free stuff from K2 Skis, but none of it was paid. Where then I saw, like, a good friend of mine was Simon Dumont. I don't know if you know who he is.
I don't know him, but I know the name.
Multi-time X Games medalist, gold medalist. He was one of the first guys I saw get complete sponsorship and just a check. And I was like, they're just money. I was like, no shit, not even all the free stuff you want, but they're actually just paying you money too. That's crazy. And he would get
how old were you when that happened?
19.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
And he was probably 18, 19.
Yeah.
That was probably like 2003, 2004.
Yep.
And so that was different. That was the first time you're seeing guys not be actually able to like buy a car or buy a house off it, not just have the coolest gear, but still be fucking ski bums.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of the generation before was they had all the gear. They could go ski wherever they wanted because they're sponsored by Mountains or whatever. K2's paying for them to go to those places.
But if
you looked in their bank account, they don't have any money.
That's still a lot of BMXers.
Yeah.
BMX is the tough one, bro. Man, that's a tough sport.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of relate it to, like, you know, in our sport, like, the gnarlier tricks I feel like there's still people that ride, but people ride that I just feel like the people, maybe, I don't know, I'm older and shit, but I'm out a lot. I'm at the parks a lot. I ride every day. And I just don't see, like, I just see the people competing out there.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, a next generation like I would like to see, thinking, because it's gnarly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, is there still a growth with freestyle skiing, or is it kind of like, are newer kids getting involved with it?
Oh,
or,
yeah.
Or
No, it's incredible. And I follow a lot of the guys who are at the top of the game and coming up, you know, on Instagram and shit, just to watch what people are doing. And I like looking at little boys. No.
Jokes, he's a comedian. Relax. Everybody take it easy here.
No, I mean, it's incredible. It's now an Olympic sport. The barrier of entry now is ridiculous. Like, you have to be able to do a cork double 12 just to be in.
Like, even the little kids.
To be 100th in any World Cup now, you have to be doing doubles.
It's crazy.
And it's still getting extremely innovative. I think it's bigger than ever. It might be a little bigger than snowboarding now, where for a while freestyle skiing was the stepbrother to snowboarding, and it was like, you're just trying to do what the snowboarders are doing.
Did you feel like snowboarding kind of had an attitude towards you guys? Or like a superiority kind of feeling? Like,
in some ways, in the overall scene, yes,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I rode every day with snowboarders. All my friends were skiers and snowboarders. We were all in the park. We, hung out together. But then skiers got to a level of figuring out the physics and realizing that they could go bigger in the half pipe than snowboarders, just because of how you're jumping off of 2 feet at once, where a snowboard, you're kind of ollieing. So you just can't get the same amount of pop in like half pipe or
compression, probably off of both of your knees when you're compressing up you're pump down, you know what I'm saying? Is that different, you think?
It's that you can, for whatever reason, I always figured, I mean, you're pushing 2 legs pushing into it at one time, opposed to when you're coming sideways, it's one leg and then the other leg. So you're never getting the full power of 2 legs at once. So you can't pump it and or pop off of the lip nearly as high.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same reason why those, what were those guys? Takeshi Yamamoto.
Yasutoko?
Yeah.
The Yasutoko brothers?
Why they just figured out, oh shit, I think we can go fucking huge.
Dude, those guys are nuts.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of shows with those guys in India for 6 weeks years ago. And I've known them because they were at that time where X Games kind of, in the X Games was all popping on TV and stuff. And those dudes are gnarly, dude. Like, they don't play around. Yasutoko brothers.
Yeah.
The beast.
And I think there was definitely one skier who showed, it was Candide Tovex, who's still one of the best ever, and he's still killing it with ridiculous fucking videos, and he's 40, 41.
Wow.
But he, in the 2003 X Games, the year before that, I think, was the first time skiing had half pipe in the X Games, and the max out was 8 feet, and then he came in, and his first air he boosted 20 feet out, and everybody was like, oh shit, you can do that on skis? Like, nobody was just going full force into it and being like, try and go as fast as you can, I think it will still work out. And then he was the first guy to do that, won that year. By the next year, everybody's going 20 feet out because they just saw one person do it, realize what you can do.
That's what these kids are like. And I tell my son this all the time. Sorry to interrupt you, but like, if you see something in your head and you bring it to life, it's different than seeing something that's possible.
Yeah.
So it's being able to see things before they're impossible, like being able to see past that mountain, not just stop at the mountain. And then when people see like, oh, we can go past this mountain, then all of a sudden everybody's doing it. It's like, why didn't everybody do it before? It's like it takes that one dude. It's like that in every sport, I feel like. Like Tony Hawk did the first 900. I just saw this kid do a 1080. He looked like he's 6, 7 years old or whatever. But they already know that the 900 is possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see if we can go
kid
further. So once they know one thing's possible, then what's next? What's next? So I get that. Yeah. Crazy.
And I ended up skiing with that guy a few times in France once and in Whistler in the summer and watching him train. And you just see how he figured that out was like he was probably just starting to hit the half pipe, getting air out, and then just going, I'm going to go faster every single time and see if I can still hold it together and land. And then eventually he's like, I'm booking it into this thing and still able to land with going 15, 18 feet out.
Do you know the speed in between, how fast you're going? Like,
You're usually around 35, 40.
Yeah.
And especially same for jumps too. It's usually around that.
Right. And how tall, I'm just trying to compare it to BMX and skate, but BMX more for me, like how tall is the vert ramp with the half pipe?
They're usually 20 to 22 feet from the base to the top of the wall.
So it's a
with
big,
about,
long
like,
tranny.
2 to 4 feet of vert.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Our biggest vert ramps are like 14. That's kind of where it stops because then you'll lose your pump.
Yeah.
You got the big jump, like the big quarter, you hit it like the mega, but that's like a one hit.
Yeah.
To keep your speed for that, the transition's so big.
Well, what makes it
how's it for skiing?
you're able to do that is because it's tilted and you're going downhill.
Got it.
So it's a half pipe, but you're also traveling downhill. So you're only doing about 4 to 6 hits per ride through because you're going from top to bottom.
Okay.
But yeah, if you didn't have that steepness to it, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, because it's too big of a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So, well, that's interesting. I know a lot about free skiing. That's pretty cool. You learn something new every day. When did you get into comedy?
26. Me and my friend made a bet to do an open mic, and at the time I was doing theater. I blew my knee out skiing. That's why I stopped competing.
Your ACL and shit?
ACL, meniscus, took a chunk of cartilage off of the bottom of my femur.
Shit.
And looked at the writing on the wall, and I was like, all right, I'm 19. The best guy and the oldest guy is 24. So I was like, so at most I have like 4.5 more years competing wise, and I'm not close to the best. I'm like 20th, 30th. And it's a big leap, and if I have a year off from this injury to get back into it, I'll be even further behind, so I'm going to give up on competing, start going to college. Took theater in college, started doing a ton of theater, had never done that before, really got into it, found the same high from performing as I did like skiing and kind of performing. You know, freestyle is a performance in a way too.
All of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a show for people. You know?
Yeah, and you do things to look cool, and you.
Yeah, and the crowd cheers. The bigger the crowd, the bigger the tricks, man.
Yeah.
Come on, you know.
And so I was doing a ton of theater, but what I didn't like about it was, and it was the same thing with skiing. It was like I wasn't working with other people skiing. It was just me up there. I was completely relying on myself. And theater.
You mean you would be skiing alone?
Right. I mean, it's not a team sport.
Not at all.
It's a solo sport.
Yeah.
And
even though they make it look like one because everyone hugs each other after every trick, but
yeah.
it's like, but learning that shit, it's like you're by
But it's
yourself.
still, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm only competing against myself. It doesn't matter what somebody else does. All that matters is what I can do and I can land.
Yeah.
There's no defense you can play, even in a, ski contest. But so me and my friend made a bet to do stand-up, and I said, if I like this, I'm going to quit doing all theater and just do stand-up all the time. And I went up first time, had a great time, then bombed a bunch after that, but it was like August of, I want to say 2011. And, from that point, I was doing a play at that time. I finished doing that play, didn't do another one, and just went straight into like 5-6 days a week trying to get on stage. And this was in Portland, Maine, so I was having to drive to New Hampshire and Boston once a week just to be able to get stage time because there was fucking nothing. Yeah.
Well, what made you choose theater? Was that like something you always wanted to do, or did you have a knack for acting and wanting to be,
I definitely like comedy and I like sketch and stuff, but two things. One, I took a class in high school, and it was a theater class, and I took it because my girlfriend at the time said, we're taking this, and I was like, okay. It was like an elective, and she was like, we should take an elective together, and I was like, I don't care.
Did you guys wear the same sweaters to school? I did that once.
I don't think so. I
was in high school. She's like, J.C. Penney's, I picked out these sweaters for us. I wore it to school, bro. Yeah. I got clowned, but I got some loving out of it. You know what I mean? It was cool, but I think I still have that sweater. Anyways.
we were slightly more trashier than that. We wouldn't have had
You had the same bandanas with the holes in the jeans.
the money or forethought to match. You know, that wasn't like match. What do you mean?
Match? I got one.
But I took this theater class, and the teacher in it, we ended up doing a play, and she cast me as the star of the play. And then after the class, and this was like my junior, maybe my senior year, and she goes, "You're really good at this, and I think you should go to theater school, and I will write a letter of recommendation for you to go to any theater school you want to." And I was like, "I'm a skier. I don't do this. This stuff is gay. No, thank you." But then when I came back around to going to college, that was kind of stuck in the back of my head. I saw an audition for a play that anybody could. It was like a student-done play. There was going to be a comedy too, so I was like, "Oh, it'd be fun to do something comedy." And I went and auditioned. I got a part, and a lot of the theater majors were very unhappy about that because it was all like theater majors, and then I was a history major, and I just auditioned and got one of the main parts.
Oh, okay.
And then picked up a theater minor after that. So I graduated with a theater minor and ended up taking a bunch of theater courses throughout college. But it was really just that one teacher sticking in the back of my head. And you know what? So her name was Mrs. Jones, Sally Jones.
Sounds like such a rigged name.
I know.
Is that a fake name? It's like John Smith or something.
Sally Jones. I mean, this is New England. That's where, John Smith was.
John Smith and Sally Jones.
There are a lot of like those like original New England names over there. Jebediah Scarborough.
Sarah Jones.
I knew it was Sarah Jones. Yeah. Sarah Jones, Jenny Jones, John Jones.
John Jones, isn't he a UFC fighter?
No, this was a white guy who was in the oil business.
Okay. John and Jones, they go together.
But yeah, her name was Sally Jones, Mrs. Jones. She told me that, and she very much tried to get me to do acting. I didn't at the time, but I always remembered that, and it is 100% the reason I am a professional stand-up comedian today is because that was stuck in the back of my head. And then going into college, it made me think to try and do something on stage. And then that got me into comedy. And I was back home, and I saw her in a supermarket, and I wanted to go tell her that and go like, "Did
you?
No, I chickened out."
Why? Why'd you chicken out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did
she recognize you?
I was like, no, I don't know. I didn't.
You had the beard. You probably didn't have the beard back then.
I was.
You didn't have this look. She didn't know who you were, right?
And that's. You know why? That's the biggest reason. I was worried she wouldn't remember me. And then I'd be like, fucking it. She's like, I told 19 people that.
You choked, though. You should have said, "Hey, man, you helped me with my money."
She's like, I told everybody in your class that. I always tell kids that. Yeah. And you're like, nah, shit.
She probably would have said, "I wasn't really talking to you. I was talking about my dreams."
Yeah. Just trying to live vicariously through myself.
I'm glad
but anyways,
sucked,
that's
but
great.
It was for me.
Anyway, you got like $10?
Hey, will you buy for these peas for me and this corn?
But if this gets to Sally Jones, I want you to know that. If she's still alive. This is a few years ago. She might be dead now. But if she's still alive, let her know. You're the reason I make inappropriate jokes on stage.
Sally Jones. He's the reason why he makes the bones. No, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, so you chickened out.
I did. I totally did.
That's kind of cool. Were you always a guy that cracked jokes and stuff? Like in school and stuff like that?
A little bit. I would definitely be the guy who was sitting in the back who would just say something to my friend next to me to get him to laugh, to get him in trouble. I wouldn't be the class clown.
You'd be the instigator.
Up in front of the teacher or doing something to make fun of the whole class. I would be in the back going like, look at this fucking guy. Somebody owes a couple extra chromosomes, you know?
Yeah. You were behind the scenes guy.
Yeah. I used to sit in the back of the class and drool a lot until enough of the class noticed and then that it was a distraction. And then I would just wipe it up and be like, I don't know, what's up? And the teacher would be mad because the kids would be laughing because I was drooling in the back. But then when he looked, I would just be like, nope, just sitting here. What's up?
Yeah, you were kind of like, oh, I got you. I got you.
Sneaky.
The reason I ask is like I've met some comedians before, and they seem totally different on stage than they do as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where it's like it almost seems like it's like they're that person on stage, but in real life they're not that.
I think.
Are you pretty consistent with like who you are on stage and off stage?
I mean,
because some people put on an act, or they just want the laughs. They like the feeling of making people laugh. But day to day, they seem like they're not the same person they were on stage. Do you ever meet someone like that?
Yes, and I know what you mean.
And it seems kind of weird. It seems kind of like, not. it seems fake to me, kind of in a weird. But I know it's not because you're a comedian and that's where you're doing it. You're doing your comedy on stage where it needs to be. But I was like it's like I'm a bike rider when I'm on the ramp, but then I'm not a bike rider when I'm off the ramp.
Yeah.
It seems weird to me.
No, and there are some people who, it is a genuine different. Like the things that they say on stage are not the thoughts that they would have off of stage, but they go, oh, because it's funny. You know, people like it when I do it, and you're like, but that's not you. Where I feel like if you talk to me, I would seem like the same person. Obviously, I'm going to say wild and ridiculous things on stage that I would never actually say.
Yeah, because
you're even opinions that I would actually have in real life. You know, you do it for fun. Excuse me. But yes, as far as like, I'm not putting on a character up there. You know, I'm going to go up and do things for funny. But if you talk to me
you're not always going to be like. Do you think?
And I'm not on.
Do you think Sam Kinison was always like Sam Kinison?
A little.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think Richard Pryor was always like Richard Pryor? No.
No. I think he could be a cold and dead person off stage.
You think so?
Sometimes. Or he was very much, I think, manic. Like
Yeah.
Off stage, who knew what Richard you're getting.
Yeah.
On stage, he could be I think that was a consistent character.
What do you think of Rob Williams?
Oh, complete. Yeah, shut down. I mean, it's the same person that is him going, but he was not, and I've never met the guy, so I'm going to speak a lot like I did. He was not, that explosive guy doing voices and stuff. He was a very quiet and shy guy off stage. I've heard a number of people say like he would come to watch comedy shows and not even say hi and just leave and sit with a hat on. And
so when you're on that stage, that's something about being a comic. This is so rad, though.
Yeah.
You get one laugh, you get another. You get another, you get another. What about George Carlin? You think he was that way?
I don't. Who knows?
He's one of my favorites. These are my favorites. That's why I'm just. I guess.
But another guy who on stage seems like the smartest, put together person. A couple things about him is one, he is writing everything word for word almost, and I've seen him live and clips of him getting the new special ready. He's going up there straight with paper, 5 pages of the entire hour show just typed out, and he's doing it verbatim.
And you're talking about George
Carlin. Yeah. He would spend 6 months just writing it, and then 6 months pretty much just learning the words on stage. And then when he tapes it, he has the cadence and feel of the same way anybody else does stand-up, is smart and some of the best, but he's not coming at it from in the club slowly working out the jokes. Like he would go back and edit and stuff, but still he's just straight writing it on the page and then delivering it, opposed to other people who are building the hour. He's like, he comes with the hour and then he goes, let's figure out this hour.
Got it.
And it was a very different thing. So I think if him as a person would be very different than him on stage, because what you saw on stage was so carefully crafted and edited to be the perfection that it was. That him as a person, he's a cocaine addict who fucking, what was that? Tinfoiled himself in a room for a year once.
He's great. Yeah.
He might not be the same guy you're thinking you were going to talk to.
No, not at all. And that happens a lot. One comedian I feel like is the same off stage and on stage would be like a Bill Burr. I feel like Bill Burr is.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like he would be the same kind of dude. I met him a few times. Yeah. Yeah, he's cool.
I mean, obviously you're dialing it up when you go on stage, same thing. But.
Yeah, but like for your style, what would okay, I'm gonna ask you a stupid question. I tell people I do comedy, they go, tell me a joke. I hate that, man. It's like, what kind of band are you? Oh, I sound like this guy because I want to be this guy. It's like, no, I sound like me. I'm me. I don't know. If someone would say your kind of style of comedy, what would you say? I hate those questions, but I'm gonna ask you.
Racism, homophobia. No, I don't know. Whatever. If somebody's asking that, I go, you're not gonna like me. How about that?
Yeah. So you're like a dark comic, offensive comic.
I don't try to be any of that. I just talk about the things that I think about. I definitely am not clean at all, but I don't think clean either. So that in that way, I feel like it's very just genuine. But tell stories, some commentary, some fucked up things.
Yeah.
I also am very much in the class of the reason I love comedy, got to do it, is because it's the place where people say the naughty things you're not supposed to say.
Of course.
That's
the best
so
part
for
of
people
it.
who are clean comics and stuff, I go, I don't know why you got into this, because that
clean.
doesn't appeal to me.
Well, look, Bill
at
Cosby
all.
was a clean comic. Look what turned out there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I wasn't a fan of his comedy, but everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I love Jello. Anyways, I'm kidding. But yeah, I get you. Like some comics are more like current events and different type of stuff, or like crowd work.
I'm literally just trying to find out what is funny and go and write as much as I can, get on stage, and then piece it together. Go, okay, this joke works, that joke works. Now what's the best way to put all of these into 15, 20 an hour? So, and then sometimes you'll find this is the theme overall, and you know what? These 3 jokes, they're great jokes, but they don't work for that, so I'm going to set those aside when I do this 15 minutes, but always, those will be used in something else later.
Yeah.
So I think in the end, if you saw, like, Watch My Hour or something, it might seem more, not even thematic, but, not piecemealed or whatever. Like, I try to make everything kind of flow one into the other, but it's all from just throwing shit at the wall and figuring out what sticks.
That's what you got to do, and you can tell a joke over and over again and just keep layering it. What I learned with comedy, for me at least, is like the layering it, keep layering it, and it makes it more, and then to act it out, which is cool. Do you find, well, a lot of people probably feel this way, but comedy's changed quite a bit. And so many people seem to be get offended by things. When you got into comedy, it wasn't like that as much, was it? I mean, East Coast comedy is different than West Coast comedy anyways, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I read something online where it said that you were, like, coming from Maine to offend the Californians.
Yeah, I don't know who wrote that.
I don't know who wrote
that about me.
Somebody, yeah. But I'm saying, did you ever feel that way, that like they were like got more offended in California compared to East?
No. I was surprised. I find New York is much more of that type of place now. There are.
Oh, New York is too.
Yeah. And but I would say when I very first started, it was a good time. Like somebody like Louis was beloved by every scene when I first started.
Got it.
So he would go to a UCB and they would be so happy he was there, and he would tell the same jokes and would be dirty or offensive or whatever, but it was Louis and they're brilliant and people loved him. And then he could go to the Comedy Store or the Comedy Cellar for the club crowd type stuff. But within the time I started till maybe about when I got out, maybe 6-7 years ago, I saw then that divide start happening, and there becoming, it's not okay to say things, and there's these type. It kind of went from alt comedy and club comedy to censored comedy and uncensored comedy.
Yeah.
And censored comedy was, we're not going to make fun of these people or that person. We're not going to say these words or that words, and you have to kind of toe this line. And uncensored, some people would still go, because they're like a Nate Bargatze, hilarious. And he goes, I don't got to worry about offending anybody. I'm not doing any jokes to offend anybody. And he's accepted in both. He probably, more of his not fans, but friends are in the uncensored camp. If you look at like Legion of Skanks guys.
Yeah.
But no, he's like, I'm just friends with them, and I don't care what other people do for their comedy. I'm not going to police theirs. But there's definitely like now a UCB, I don't think they would let Louis come in.
Yeah. Well, because you think it's because all that stuff that happened?
I mean, he jerked off in front of people.
Yeah. I'll let you say it. I mean, these things happen.
But they would also now criticize the things he said. That happened with him when his hour got, somebody recorded at Governor's and then just put it up online when he was first coming back from that. And that was people hated him because of that scandal. But then all the criticism was, oh my God, look at what he's saying in here. And he's making fun of school shootings. And it's like, that's something he would have done 5 years ago and you would have loved the bit. But you don't like him now. So now you're going to pick up anything you don't like that you think is offensive.
Yeah, I think the internet's to blame for it.
Yeah.
It totally is. Because everybody wants a voice and wants to be heard. And like, it's funny. I remember a comedian before was like, there's no law. I forgot who this was, but there's no law about offending somebody. I forgot who said this. was a comedian a while ago. I'm like, well,
I believe it
nowadays.
was George Washington.
Yeah. But nowadays there is, you get like, you know what I mean? Like everybody seems to be, but I think you should just be you regardless, because I mean, if it's funny, it's funny.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if it's hateful, that's different. But if it's funny,
If it's hateful, that's the best.
You like that, huh?
I mean, fake hatred is hilarious.
I mean, but people just need to go to comedy shows wanting to laugh, not trying to. Do you feel like there's more hecklers nowadays? I see so many videos of so many people like just coming at
but
people.
that's them pushing it. You know what I mean?
Do you think those type of people go to shows going, I'm going to heckle this comedian?
Women? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get heckled a lot?
No. But when you do,
it's kind of fun.
You know who it is.
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah. This, do you get heckled though? Do you a lot?
No.
But when you do though, I think it's kind of fun.
Well, it depends. Sometimes, like, it's one time it sucked because I'm like, this kind of fucked up the show, and it went fine, and everybody laughed. But I was like, I wish that hadn't happened, because I was headlining for the first time Ontario Improv, and there's a table in the back with like 3 minutes left to go in the show. Start just talking so loud, and then the guy jumps up and he goes, "Yo, man, roast me, roast it." And I was like,
oh gosh.
I'm like in the middle of the joke. I'm like, what the fuck? And the crowd's like, what is going on? And I just said, kick him out. You're there. You're roasted. And they were so pissed, and they made this whole scene, and then they walk out, and I tell one joke, and I go, then that's the show, everybody.
That sucks.
Which everybody was happy. They all laughed when the people got forced out. I said a couple things because the guy was like, I work for Zildjian Symbols. You'll never get Zildjian. I was like, what the fuck cares about it? Threaten me with copper. But it was fine, but I would have so much rather I finished with what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And had gone out on top, and everybody just had a good time. So it's like in that way you go like, oh, that was a crazy moment with that heckler. And I'm like, yeah, but I had stuff planned that was just as good. That's
funny, dude. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, people are crazy. They need to chill out at shows. Just go out and have a good time. That's what it's about. Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, man. We're gonna wrap it up.
I wasn't looking at my watch because I just.
No, it's cool. I get it.
I got baby news, and I would just want to make sure there's no.
We like to keep this like right at about an hour, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Is you got any stuff like we don't really like to date the shows, but can you let people know where to find you and where to like get your stuff?
Yeah.
And, hey, thanks a lot for letting us know about Freeskiing. And also too, in the comedy, and I love doing shows too. I love to do more shows with you.
Absolutely.
But where could they go to follow you?
Main thing is probably like Instagram or TikTok or whatever, just at Handren Seavey. And I got a link to anytime I'm doing shows, you can get tickets through there. And there's a link to there through. I've got a comedy special with 4x3 comedy that's on YouTube, but you can just find the link on my Instagram.
Oh, sick! How long is that?
I think it's like 45 minutes. Or something.
How long ago did you put that out?
Let me think. 20 would have been 2023. Yeah. So it's just 2025. So it's about a year and a half ago. I put it out. I shot it a year before that.
So did you, real quick before we leave? And I'm not good at ending shows because I could keep talking on and on and on.
Yeah.
But did you ever put together like a freestyle skiing edit?
Yes, I had a sponsor me tape. Yeah.
Oh, you had a sponsor me.
Yeah.
So when you did your special for comedy, did you feel like you already kind of had some tools to do that? Did you feel like it was the same kind of thing, or is it different?
There are a few similarities.
Because you try to go with no edits, I would think. Right? That would be the goal, wouldn't it?
No.
No, that's not the goal.
No.
And stand-up comedy, no.
No. Of course you're. I mean. You want it to look like there's no edits, but of course you're going to edit.
Yeah.
Just also, you're looking at 4 different camera shots, so it's trying to figure out how you're going to, because if you just leave one camera, it's not as fun to, it just isn't appealing.
It's flat.
It's flat.
It's kind of like this podcast.
Figuring out the intros, how you're going to start the special, what you want to do to end it, very similar to figuring out a part, if you're going to do a part in a, but you want your cool song. You want it to come in with the right clip. And
you want to end with the banger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want it to look cool. So that was definitely a thing. I started it, and this was my choice because I'd seen Shane Gillis do this, where you hit play, and it says 4x3 comedy, and then boom, I'm telling a joke, and it has about 2.5 minute, just you're right in it, telling a joke. That laugh happens at the end of that. Then it goes to the intro of plays a little music, see a little of the crowd filling in, and then everybody please welcome Handren Seavey. So
Cool.
just if you hit play, it immediately starts you with a joke. There's no preamble. There's no like, oh, let me get ready for this big special.
Yeah, I get it. But do you think you had but by doing a sponsor me tape, that probably helped with this? Do you think?
It definitely helped me learn editing. I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
I can edit now because of what I learned skiing.
What does 4x3 mean?
That was the company.
Oh, I see.
They're just a production company. That,
okay.
So it's on their YouTube page, but the link is on my Instagram, you can just follow it to there.
Yeah, everybody check it out. And so what your Instagram is Handren Seavey, right?
Yep.
Just
HANDREN SEAVEY.
That's it. Dude, thanks a lot for coming through.
Hey, thank you for
I
having
appreciate
me.
you. Much love, dude.
All
Keep
right.
ripping. And everybody, go check out. If he's in your town, I love your style. Go check him out. Where the Comedy Store, the Improv, you're at a lot.
Yeah.
The
Accidental Chaos.
Accidental
Check them
Chaos.
out.
Yeah, he's there a lot. So, and if he's ever in your town. So check him out, follow him. Thanks a lot for watching the show. Let your friends know, subscribe, and stay rad.
Everybody ready? Come on, let's go.